Have you ever stopped to think that maybe you're looking at the starry sky and missing the messages the universe is trying to send especially to you? What if I told you that 2025 is still full of incredible surprises in store for Geminis, and that each passing day is a new opportunity for prosperity knocking at your door? Well, my dear Gemini friend, prepare your heart because today I'm going to show you 11 powerful proofs that this year will still transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. You know that feeling that something bigger is coming? That butterflies in your stomach feeling that wakes you up in the middle of the night with thoughts about the future? That's no coincidence. The universe is aligning very strong energies in your favor at this very moment, and those who don't pay attention to these messages may miss the golden opportunity that's right in front of their noses. I'm talking about real prosperity, the kind that changes the course of history, that makes you look back in a few months and say with a smile on your face, I was there when everything started to change. The stars don't lie, and when they move in this specific way, extraordinary things happen in the lives of people who know how to recognize the signs. So take a deep breath, because in the following lines you will discover truths that will make your heart race and your mind open to possibilities you thought impossible. First test: the inner transformation that began in the first semester. Look, let's start from the very beginning, because everything that's happening now is the result of seeds that were planted long ago. At the beginning of this year, when many people were just making empty New Year's resolutions, something much deeper was happening in the world of Geminis. You may not have realized it at the time, but a gigantic inner shift was taking place within you. You know those moments when you found yourself questioning things you previously accepted without thinking? Those nights when you stared at the ceiling of your room, thinking about the true meaning of your existence and what really matters. Well, that wasn't a crisis, my friend. That was the universe working within you, preparing the ground for the million-dollar harvest that's coming. The energy of the planets was stirring your deepest mental structures, breaking down old walls that you yourself built without realizing it. And you know what's even more incredible? These transformations created new space within you. Space to receive abundance, space to embrace opportunities, space to allow greater things into your life. Because you need to understand something very important. The universe can't put new wine into old wineskins, as the saying goes. First, you needed to be renewed from within, and that has already happened. Now you are ready, even if you don't fully feel it yet. Your mind is more open, your heart is more receptive, and your soul is vibrating at a completely different frequency than at the beginning of the year. This is the first conclusive proof that great things are coming. Because true prosperity, the kind that lasts and truly transforms, always begins from the inside out. Always. And you, dear Gemini, have already passed this first fundamental stage even without fully realizing it. Second test: the unexpected encounters that are taking place. Now pay close attention to this, because it's something happening right under your nose and you might be missing it. How many times in the last few months have you bumped into people you haven't seen in years? How many seemingly casual conversations have you had that, deep down, touched on important issues in your life? How many times have you thought about someone and then that person appeared, sent a message, or you heard about them? These aren't coincidences, my dear. They are synchronicities, which is the fancy name we give to when the universe is weaving things together behind the scenes. Geminis are ruled by communication, by exchange, by the movement of ideas and words. And this year especially, these exchanges are charged with a special power. Every conversation you have now may be planting a seed of opportunity that will sprout in a few months. That person you met at the market and talked to for 5 minutes could be the bridge to a professional connection that will change your game. That acquaintance who suddenly started talking to you again might be bringing you exactly the information you needed to hear. The universe works through people, you know? He's not going to descend a golden staircase from heaven with a bag of money. That's not how it works. Abundance comes through human connections, through conversations, through ideas circulating among open minds. And you, as a Gemini, have a natural advantage in this. Your ability to communicate, to build bridges between people, to move through different environments. All of this is being enhanced by the cosmic energy of 2025. So that feeling you sometimes have that you're meeting the right people at the right time? Trust that feeling. It's right. Every encounter matters. Every conversation has weight. Every exchange is weaving the network that will sustain your prosperity in the coming months. Third test: the doors that close to open better paths. This might be hard to swallow at first, but it's one of the strongest pieces of evidence of all. Think about it. How many things didn't work out for you this year? How many plans you were sure would work simply crumbled? How many doors slammed in your face, leaving you confused and even a little hurt? I know it hurts. I know that at the time it feels like the universe is against you, that nothing will work out, that you're cursed or something. But now I want you to look at these situations with different eyes. With the eyes of someone who understands how cosmic energy really works. Because the truth, the real truth that few dare to speak, is that the universe closes old doors so that you are forced to find new and better ones. If that job had worked out, you wouldn't be available for the much bigger opportunity that's coming. If that business had succeeded, you would be stuck in a situation that would limit your growth. If that person had stayed in your life, they would be occupying the space that needs to be empty for someone or something much more aligned with your purpose to arrive. This isn't empty wishful thinking, no. This is understanding the spiritual mechanics of life. Geminis have a natural tendency to want to embrace everything at once, to want all options open, all paths available. But sometimes the universe needs to do the dirty work of closing some of those options, so you can focus on what really matters. And when we look at the 2025 astrological chart for Geminis, it becomes very clear that these losses in the first half of the year weren't punishments. They were preparations. They were cleansings. They were the universe removing everything that would hinder true abundance from reaching you. So if you're feeling a little lost, a little empty-handed, take a deep breath. Because empty hands are hands ready to receive new things. Call to action. Subscribe to the channel. Look, if these messages are touching your heart, if you're feeling that tingling of recognition, that feeling that these words were written especially for you, then I need to ask you something very important. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't leave it for later. Don't wait for the video to end and forget. Do it now. And activate that notification bell, because every day I bring new messages, new energies, new knowledge about the spiritual world and how the stars are influencing your life. And you know what else? Comment below where you're watching from. Write your city, your state, your country. Let me know where the Geminis are who are tuned into this frequency of prosperity. Because when we connect like this, when we form this community of people seeking the same spiritual truths, the energy multiplies. The strength grows. And if these messages are really making a difference in your life, if you feel that this channel is helping you better understand your path, consider becoming a member, a supporter of this work. Because this allows me to continue bringing this content to you and thousands of other people who need to hear these truths. It's not an obligation, of course not. But if it touches your heart, you know where to find that option. Now let's continue because there's still a lot of proof of prosperity for us to unpack here. Fourth test. Intuition that is getting sharper and sharper. Let's talk about something you're probably feeling but not giving due importance to. Your intuition is becoming absurdly stronger, clearer, more precise. You know those hunches you have? That inner voice that nudges you and tells you to do or not do something. It's shouting louder now. And the most interesting thing is that when you choose to listen to that voice, things tend to work out in an almost magical way. But when you ignore it, when you let cold, calculating logic speak louder, then things get complicated. This is no coincidence. Geminis are already naturally intuitive because of the planetary rulership you have, but in 2025 this ability is being turbocharged in a special way. It's as if the universe has increased the volume of the communication channel between you and the higher dimensions. Those strange dreams you're having? They have messages. That thought that pops into your head while you're washing the dishes or taking a shower came from somewhere important. That strange feeling you had about a situation or person, it was right even if you can't explain why. And do you know what the proof is that this is connected to the prosperity that is coming? Simple. Prosperity isn't just about having more money in the bank. True prosperity is about making the right decisions at the right time. It's about being in the right place when the opportunity arises. It's about recognizing the yes when it arrives and recognizing the no when it presents itself. And to do all this, you need a perfectly functioning inner compass. You need to trust your instincts. And the universe is giving you exactly that this year. It's calibrating your intuition, clearing the channels of perception, teaching you the difference between paralyzing fear and protective wisdom. So when you feel that inner nudge telling you to go down a path that seems crazy on the surface, seriously consider following that nudge. Because it may be coming from an intelligence far greater than your brain can consciously process. Fifth test. Increasing your adaptability. Look how interesting this is. because it's proof that something is happening in a very quiet but very powerful way. Have you noticed how you've been able to adjust to changes more easily lately? How those things that used to terrify you now face with more ease? This isn't about you becoming complacent or apathetic, no. It's about you evolving spiritually and developing one of the most valuable skills someone can have in times of transformation like the ones we are living through. The ability to adapt, to flow with change instead of resisting it, to find opportunities where others only see problems. Geminis have this flexibility in their spiritual DNA, so to speak. You are the sign of duality, of the ability to see both sides of the coin, to move between different realities. But in 2025, this characteristic is being elevated to another level. And do you know why this is direct proof that prosperity is coming? Because in today's world, those who don't adapt are left behind. Opportunities are changing very rapidly. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. What seemed impossible last week may become reality next week. And in this dynamic, fast-paced, and unpredictable scenario, who will prosper? Who will seize the best opportunities? Precisely those who can move quickly, who can change strategies without panicking, who can see possibilities where most see only chaos. And you are being prepared for this. Every challenge you faced this year was a training exercise. Every time you had to change plans at the last minute was a lesson. Every situation that forced you out of your comfort zone was an initiation. And now you are more prepared than ever to ride the waves of change that will bring prosperity to your door. So when the next unexpected change appears in your life, instead of despairing, stop for a second and think, could this be the universe repositioning me for something better? 9 times out of 10, the answer will be yes. 6th test. The brilliant ideas that are popping up in your mind. Now tell me something honestly. How many new ideas have crossed your mind in the last few months? How many moments of inspiration have you had? Those insights that come out of nowhere and make you think, wow, this could work. How many projects have you started to imagine, even if you haven't put them into practice yet? If you're a typical Gemini, I bet there have been many. And I also bet you might be underestimating these ideas, thinking it's just your restless mind doing what it always does, jumping from branch to branch without stopping. But I need to tell you something very important. These ideas are not mental garbage. They are golden seeds being planted in the garden of your consciousness by the very intelligence of the universe. When cosmic energy is aligned for prosperity in someone's life, one of the first things that happens is an increase in creative flow. Ideas begin to gush forth because the channel between you and the field of all possibilities is more open. And Geminis are especially privileged in this aspect because you are already naturally creative. You already have an ease in thinking outside the box, in connecting dots that others don't even see. Now imagine that multiplied by the special energy of 2025. The result is a veritable storm of potentially million-dollar ideas passing through your head. The problem is that most people discard these ideas too quickly. They immediately think of all the reasons why it won't work, all the difficulties, all the risks, and then the idea dies before it even has a chance to germinate. Don't do that. When an idea comes, write it down. You don't need to execute it immediately, but don't discard it either. Let it stay there, tucked away, because in a few days or weeks, some piece of the puzzle will appear and suddenly that idea will make perfect sense. Prosperity often begins as a spark of inspiration that most people let go out. Don't be that majority. Nurture those sparks. Protect them. Because one of those ideas circulating in your mind right now could be exactly the gateway to the abundance that the universe is trying to give you. 7th test. Increasing your emotional resilience. Let's touch on a point that might be a little painful, but it's fundamental to understanding the whole picture. Have you noticed that you're dealing with disappointments and frustrations differently lately? Those things that used to leave you bedridden for days, you can now process them faster? Those criticisms and judgments that used to destroy you inside, you can now listen to, filter out what's worthwhile, and discard the rest without losing your peace? This isn't insensitivity. This isn't you becoming cold or hardened. This is spiritual maturity arriving. This is you developing a layer of energetic protection that allows you to remain vulnerable and open where it matters, but shielded from the toxicities that don't deserve your attention. And do you know why this is crucial for the prosperity that's coming? Because great opportunities always come with great challenges. Greater responsibilities bring greater pressures. Greater visibility attracts more critics. And if you don't have the emotional structure to deal with all of this, you'll sabotage your own prosperity when it arrives. You'll refuse opportunities out of fear. You'll give up at the first obstacle. Don't let other people's opinions stop you from going after what is rightfully yours. But the universe is wise, very wise. It doesn't throw you into a deep pool before teaching you how to swim. And this entire year has been a great emotional swimming lesson for Geminis. Every blow you've taken has taught you something. Every disappointment has strengthened you. Every time you've fallen and gotten back up, your spiritual muscles have grown stronger. And now you're almost ready, almost at the ideal point of inner strength to hold on to all the good that's coming. So when you look back and see all the emotional difficulties you've faced, you don't just see suffering. You see training. You see preparation. You see the universe loving you so much that it's preparing you properly before giving you what you asked for. Because receiving prosperity without being emotionally ready for it is a guaranteed recipe for disaster. But you won't fall for that. You are being honed precisely to shine when your time comes. 8th test. Opportunities disguised as extra work. This test here is tricky because it doesn't look good at first glance. You've probably noticed that lately more things are appearing for you to do. More responsibilities are falling into your lap. More people are asking for your help or inviting you to participate in projects. And your first reaction might be irritation, thinking that you're being exploited, that you're already overwhelmed, that you can't take any more. And look, I completely understand that reaction. Nobody here is saying that you have to accept everything and become a slave to work. But what I want you to realize is this. When the tide of prosperity is rising in your life, one of the first signs is an increase in opportunities, and these opportunities don't always come wrapped in gift paper. Sometimes they come disguised as problems, extra work, challenges that seem boring. But pay attention. When someone invites you to participate in something, when they ask for your help, when they give you more responsibility, do you know what that really means? It means that people are seeing you as someone capable. It means that your reputation is growing. It means you're being tested for bigger things. Geminis have an incredible ability to multitask, to get involved in several side projects. And in 2025, that ability is being called into action. It's not about killing yourself working, of course not. It's about being strategic and carefully choosing which of these disguised opportunities you'll invest your energy in. Because not all of them deserve a yes. But a few are gateways to completely new levels of prosperity. That extra project you were asked to take on could connect you with influential people. That additional responsibility could give you visibility you didn't have before. That help you were asked for could create a debt of gratitude that will translate into opportunities later on. So before automatically rejecting everything because you're tired, stop and analyze. Could this be a test? Isn't the universe seeing if I'm ready to handle more? Because prosperity doesn't fall from the sky on those who are idle. It comes to those who are in motion, to those who are visible, to those who are showing themselves available for more. The difference between slave labor and opportunity lies in the intention and strategy you put behind your choices. 9th proof. The synchronicity of numbers and signs. Now we're going to enter territory that many people consider nonsense, but which is real for those who have eyes to see. Have you been seeing repeated numbers frequently? Those numbers like 111, 222, 333? Or mirror times like 10 and 10, 12 and 12, 23 and 23? Have you noticed strange patterns repeating themselves? Things that shouldn't be connected but seem to all be linked? Have you heard the same song several times in different places? Or stumbled upon the same words or phrases in completely unrelated situations? Look, the universe doesn't have a mouth to speak to you directly, but it has ways of communicating. And one of its favorite ways is through synchronicities, which are those impossible coincidences that aren't really coincidences. They are nudges, little notes that the cosmos is leaving for you saying, hey, pay attention, something important is happening here. And why is this proof of prosperity coming? Because when your life is about to take a quantum leap, when you're about to enter a new phase, the universe intensifies these signals. It's as if it's trying to wake you up, prepare you, warn you that you need to be attentive because the window of opportunity is opening. Geminis are governed by communication in all its forms, including these subtle and symbolic communications from the universe. You have a natural antenna to pick up these things, but you need to stop rationalizing everything and dismissing it as nonsense. When you see a number repeated for the 10th time in a week, stop for a second, breathe, and ask yourself, what do I need to know now? What is the universe trying to tell me? Could be confirmation that you're on the right track. It could be a warning to pay attention to a specific area of your life. It could simply be a reminder that you're not alone. that greater forces are working in your favor. And when prosperity is truly about to arrive, these synchronicities multiply. It's as if the universe is practically shouting at you, using every tool at its disposal to ensure you don't miss your window of opportunity because you're distracted. So stay alert. Keep your eyes open. Pay attention to the signs, because they're everywhere, waiting for you to finally recognize that you're not alone on this journey. 10th test. The emergence of new skills and talents. Something subtle yet profound is happening to you, and you may be completely ignoring it. Suddenly you're getting good at things you never were before. Suddenly you're understanding subjects that used to be too complicated. Suddenly you're developing skills you didn't even know you had. And before you think this is just practice or effort on your part, let me tell you what's really happening. The universe is equipping you with the tools you'll need to seize the opportunities that are coming your way. It's as if you're being prepared for a mission, and each new skill that emerges is a piece of equipment being delivered. Geminis are naturally versatile. They already have an ease in learning new things. They can already manage in different situations. But in 2025, this versatility is being turbocharged in an impressive way. You're absorbing knowledge faster. You're connecting information from different areas in creative ways. You're discovering that you can do things you thought weren't for you. And all of this is not random. All of this is being orchestrated by cosmic intelligence that knows exactly what you'll need in the coming months. That tech skill you developed out of nowhere is going to be important. That public speaking ability you never had and is suddenly emerging is going to be necessary. That newfound interest in a particular subject that seems unrelated to your current life, it will make perfect sense when the right opportunity arises. Prosperity doesn't come alone. It comes with new responsibilities and challenges. And to deal with these challenges, you need an arsenal of skills. The universe knows this, and that's why it's preparing you in advance. It's giving you the weapons before the battle. It's teaching you to swim before putting you in the ocean. So when you realize you're getting good at something new, don't dismiss it as trivial. Celebrate, acknowledge it, and ask yourself, how can this new skill be useful on my path to prosperity? Because the answer may surprise you. Often, what seems like a random hobby ends up being the bridge to your next big opportunity. 11th test. The change in your social circle. And finally, we arrive at the last test, and perhaps one of the most important of all. Look around. Look at the people who are close to you now, and compare them to the people who were close to you at the beginning of the year. Has anything changed? I bet it has. I bet some people have drifted away, some friendships have cooled, some relationships that seemed solid have begun to crack. And at the same time, I bet new people have appeared, unexpected connections, friendships that have formed quickly and seem to have a strange depth for the short time they have existed. This isn't you being a bad friend, it isn't you being fickle, it isn't you pushing people away. This is the universe reorganizing your social circle, so that it is aligned with the level of prosperity you are about to achieve. Because here's a hard but necessary truth. You can't level up in life and keep the same company as always. It doesn't work that way. The people around you profoundly influence your energy, your beliefs, your possibilities. If you're surrounded by people who constantly complain, who see problems in everything, who drag you down every time you try to fly, you won't truly prosper. No matter how many opportunities arise, no matter how much the universe tries to help you, you'll be sabotaged by the energies around you. Then the cosmos, in its infinite wisdom, begins a natural cleansing. People who no longer vibrate at your frequency begin to naturally distance themselves. It's not fighting, it's not drama, it's just an organic distancing. And at the same time, people who are on the same journey as you, who have similar goals, who vibrate at a similar frequency, these people begin to appear in your life. Geminis are social beings by nature. You need exchange, communication, circulation among different groups. But in 2025, the quality of these exchanges matters more than the quantity. It's better to have 3 true friends who propel you upwards than to have 30 acquaintances who keep you stuck where you are. So if you're feeling this upheaval in your social circle, if you're a little confused about who's staying and who's leaving, relax. This is the universe working in your favor. It's connecting you with the right people for the next phase. It's disconnecting you from influences that would hinder your growth. And the proof that this is linked to prosperity is simple. Look at the people who are entering your life now. Look at what they represent, where they are going, what they are building. You will realize that they are people in motion, people who are seeking something greater, people who are not content with mediocrity. And when you are surrounded by this kind of energy, your own energy rises. You begin to believe in greater possibilities. You begin to think bigger. And thinking bigger is the first step to achieving greater things. So there you have it, my dear Gemini. 11 solid, concrete, real proofs that 2025 still holds incredible things in store for you. This isn't motivational coach talk. It's not a fairy tale. It's direct observation of how cosmic energy is moving in your favor right now. And now that you know these proofs, now that you know what's happening behind the scenes of reality, the question remains, what are you going to do with this information? Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. You can watch this whole video, agree with everything that was said, even get emotional and then do nothing different. And then nothing will really change. Or you can take these 11 proofs and use them as fuel, as motivation, as daily reminders that you are being prepared for something bigger. You can start paying more attention to the signs. You can start valuing the new skills that are emerging. You can start cultivating the right connections and distancing yourself from the wrong energies. You can start trusting your intuition more and fear less. You can start seeing each challenge as preparation, not punishment. Prosperity is knocking on your door, but you need to open it. The universe is doing its part. Now you need to do yours. And what is your part? It's to stay alert. It's to remain open. It's to keep moving even when it's difficult. It's to maintain faith even when external evidence hasn't yet arrived. It's to understand that you are in a process and processes take time, but they come to an end when you don't give up halfway. So my challenge for you today is this. Choose one of these 11 tests, the one that resonated most with your heart, and spend the next week paying special attention to it. If it was the test about intuition, spend the week listening more to your instincts. If it was the test about new skills, dedicate time to developing those new talents. If it was the test about your social circle, make a conscious effort to invest in the right connections. And then come back here and tell me in the comments what happened, what you discovered, what changed. Because when you act based on spiritual knowledge, life begins to respond in magical ways. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. Activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Because every day I bring new messages about how to navigate this mystical and spiritual universe that is always speaking to us, always sending signals, always trying to guide us towards our highest good. And if these words truly touched your heart, consider supporting this work by becoming a channel member. Your help allows me to continue bringing these messages to more and more people who need to hear these truths. The year isn't over yet, Gemini. There's still a lot of story to be written, a lot of prosperity to manifest, a lot of money to come in, many opportunities to appear. And you are more ready than you imagined to receive all of this. So lift your head, open your heart, and get ready, because the best is yet to come.